Are you struggling with codependency? Are you in a codependent relationship? A codependent relationship is a dysfunctional relationship where one person is a giver and one person is a taker. The giver prioritizes the other person's needs and wants over their own. Are you a people pleaser, or do you rely on someone and are so dependent on someone that you feel like you can't function without them? Well, then you're in a codependent relationship. Do you want to break free from that? Whether you're the giver, the people pleaser who never thinks of themselves, who goes above and beyond in giving until they burn out, or you're the taker who feels like you just can't live without that person, that you'll die without them. Either way, you're in a dysfunctional relationship. If you would like to break free of that, then you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Sandra Wyllie. This is my mental health channel where I talk about my own personal struggles, having been SA'd from psychologists. I've been in sexual relationships with them. I have borderline personality disorder, and I talk about my struggles around that and my struggles around post-traumatic stress disorder and triggers. I talk about depression, anxiety, narcissism, and my narcissistic mother. I talk about schizophrenia. And I wrote a childhood memoir right here, Life with My Schizophrenic Father. And I talk about a plethora of other mental health related topics. But I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you or give you a professional opinion. And all I ask in turn of you is your kindness and respect, please, in the comments. Now, if you would like to break free from codependency, I'm going to give you some good, concrete, 5 good, concrete ways that you can do that. But before I begin that, I want to answer a subscriber's comment on my last video about when Dr. Richard Geist laid his hands on me. I already answered the subscriber in the comments section, but not everyone reads the comments. And I thought that this person had a great question. And I always welcome you to ask me questions. You don't have to, be concerned that you're disrespectful. If you are honestly asking a question because you're curious and you don't understand and you want to find out, then go ahead and ask that question. I will gladly answer every and all questions, as long as I think the person is coming from a genuine place of interest and wants to learn. They're not just asking the question to be facetious. There's a big difference. And I really appreciated this subscriber's question on my last video. The subscriber said, I'm confused. Did you enjoy when Dr. Richard Geist was touching you? Did I enjoy sitting in his lap and cuddling with him and laying all over the floor with him and having him spank me? And the answer is yes. So then the subscriber was confused. Well, if you enjoyed it, how can you say that that was abusive? I enjoyed it in the moment, and I use the analogy of a child being with a parent that let them eat junk food all night. And this happened to me one time, and just stay up all night. And my parents went away on vacation to Vegas, and they left me with my grandmother. And my grandmother I was over at my cousin's house who had an in-ground pool, and I was out in the sun all day, got severely burnt. I ate junk food the whole day, and I threw up and had diarrhea all night. I got violently sick. So in the moment as that child, eating all the junk food and being in the sun all day, not having any limits, Was I enjoying it? Immensely, immensely. But that night, when I was throwing up and having severe stomach pains and diarrhea, was I enjoying it then? And the answer was no. I got sick on it. That analogy is what applies to what happened to me. Was I enjoying having sex with Dr. James Barbaria? Yes. Was I enjoying being sexual with Dr. Richard Geist, sitting in his lap, touching his penis, giving him back massages, laying all over on the floor with him, being across his lap, having him spank me? Yes. In the moment, like that child eating all the junk food, I was enjoying it immensely. There were no boundaries. He was letting me do whatever I wanted to do. I could call him 24/7. He was on speed dial, like it says in that video, my last video, and I loved it. I was eating it up like that child eating all the junk food, stuffing their stomach until they have a bad bellyache. But then when he pulled it back and took it all away, then I felt abandoned all over again, just like when my dad walked out on me when I was a little girl and left and abandoned me. I felt abandoned. And then I realized, I started turning to alcohol. And years later, I realized what happened was dysfunctional. I was not in therapy with either one of these doctors. I was in a dysfunctional situation. Let's put it that way. I won't call it a relationship either, because it wasn't. I was in a dysfunctional situation with these trained doctors who were 100% responsible because they took an oath do no harm. They were in a fiduciary role with me in a position of power, like a parent with a child, where I put my trust in them. And they took advantage of that trust. So it was only then, after I turned to alcoholism and had insomnia and severe depression and anxiety and just went down that rabbit hole, that I realized how bad it hurt me. Yes, I did enjoy it in the moment, but afterwards, it ruined my life. So now let's talk about how do we break free from codependency. The first step one, is you have to realize what you want, all right? Your wants versus what the other person wants. And you have to stop feeling responsible for what the other person is feeling or wanting, all right? So you have to take a step back and say, hey, I have to think about my own wants and my own needs, not solely the other person. What do I want? Do I want to do this? How's this going to affect me? That's the first step. How is this going to affect me? Like if a friend asks you, say you they want you to babysit their child, or they want you to drive them somewhere, and you feel bad. I don't have a drive. I'm just trying to think of a scenario, like, I don't have anyone to drive me, and then you feel responsible. Oh, they need to get to the doctor's appointment, but you already, you're overloaded with work for the day, and you have too many things, and then you do it, and you start resenting yourself, and then you don't have time to do the things that you needed to do. Then you realize, hey, I should have said no. I'm resenting it, and now I can't do the things that I needed to take care of that were very important. So I was putting my friend's needs above my own. So you start realizing that, you start realizing it, because your body will tell you. You'll get stressed out, you'll have stomach pains, you'll have a headache, you'll feel burnt out, you'll feel exhausted, you'll feel like, when you do these things, your body is going to tell you, hey, whoa, maybe you're taking too much on. That's when number 2 happens. You start recognizing your limits. Hey, you know what? My boyfriend wanted to go out late at night. He called me at 9 o'clock and he says, hey, I want to see you. Let's go out. Let's go to the bar. Let's have a few drinks. And I didn't want to, I'm really tired. I need to get to bed early because I got to wake up early tomorrow for work. I got to wake up at 5 o'clock, and I really don't feel like going out at 9. I don't know what time. By the time we get there, I don't know how late I'll be. And you start recognizing your own limits and saying, you know what, I'm really tired right now. I'm ready to go to bed now at 9 o'clock. I'm not ready to go out on the town for the night. So that's very important. Number 2, recognizing your own limits. Like, yeah, I don't think I can say no. I can say, I don't want to disappoint my boyfriend. And I really want to see my boyfriend or my friend or whoever is asking me to do whatever they're asking me to do. I'd like to see them. I'd like to help them. But you know what? My body is saying I'm really tired. I just don't think I could go out now. I'm ready to go to bed. So you start recognizing your own limits, your own needs. And number 3, you start feeling your own feelings, how you're feeling in the moment versus how someone else is feeling. By looking at, well, how do I feel right now? Do I feel like doing that? Or maybe it's your mother calling to say, I need you to come, do some groceries for me. And you go, oh, you know what? It's my one day off the whole week. I got to do my own grocery shopping. I got to do the laundry. I got to take care of everything else because this is my only day off. And, what about my own needs? When do I get a break? When am I going to relax? If I go over and do all the stuff for my mom or whoever asks you, and then I got to do all this stuff. I got to do my own groceries. I got to do my own. I have a whole pile of laundry. I got to clean my home. When am I going to relax the whole week? I've been working all week. I got to take a break for myself. Otherwise, you're going to snap. So you say, you know what, Mom, I'd love to help you, but this is my only day off, and I've got so much already on my plate, and I just need a few hours to unwind. Just this, that's another thing. If you want to break free of the codependency, you have to recognize start recognizing your own feelings. Number 4, start feeling good about yourself. You'll start having more confidence. When you first start saying no or setting boundaries, setting limits, you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel like a bad person. You're going to feel like, you're going to, because that other person's going to guilt trip you. They do it. If you're a people pleaser, how many people guilt trip you, right? Oh, it's your fault. Oh, they scapegoat you. How many people scapegoat you? It's your fault that I don't have, whatever, my medication because you didn't pick it up for me. Well, I'm sorry, Mom. You could have got it delivered to the house. You could have, I don't know, asked my other siblings, or you could have asked a friend. My kid is sick with the flu. I've got da-da-da-da-da-da. You gotta start feeling good about saying no. You gotta start saying, I gotta come first, because if you don't come first, if you can't help yourself, you're not going to be able to help anyone else, So you start having a little bit more confidence in saying that little 2-letter word, no. You don't feel as bad saying it now because, and the 5th one and the final one is, maybe even before, I should have put this one before that one, I should have reversed them, is that if you don't say that 2-letter word, no, then you start feeling resentment and angry. So maybe this should have been the 4th one, and that one, I reverse them. Okay, there's still 5. So you start feeling like angry and resentment when you do start saying, when you do agree to everything. You're doing it, but you're hating, you're dripping in resentment. You're saying, I shouldn't have done this. It was a mistake. I should have just said no. Now I have no time to do this or do that. Or, now I feel totally exhausted. I'm going back to work tomorrow and I can't function. So when that starts, then you start to be, once you start getting angry and resentful that you're constantly pleasing the other person, then you can start learning to say no and have more confidence in saying no. And if you are on the other end of being a taker all the time, and I think it's good when that person starts pulling back and saying no, because then you will learn independency. You're never going to learn independency if someone's always handing you things on a silver platter. How are you going to learn to function on your own, right? The parent can't keep doing for the child, right? A parent can't keep, the child doesn't know how to walk. A parent can't keep, oh, that's okay. Pick up the child and bring them to wherever they want. You want to go to the kitchen to have a snack? Pick you up, bring you in the kitchen, or get the snack and give it to you. How is a child going to learn to walk? Right? The child has to get up, fumble, fall down, get up again, fumble, fall down, get up again. Otherwise, the child will never learn to do it by themselves. Right? So it's good on both ends for the giver and the taker to break free from this dysfunctional relationship where it's all one side. And a relationship needs to be balanced. A relationship needs give and take, and it's no good for either one of them, because even the taker, you think, oh, well, they're getting everything they want. They're not learning how to be independent. All right, they're not going to be able to function on their own. So it isn't good for the taker to take, and they're never going to learn how they're going to learn to do anything. If you keep driving your child to appointments, or to, and they're old enough to drive themselves, they never get a license, right? Why do I have to get a license? I got mommy to drive me everywhere. Mommy's my taxi. Why do I have to bother, This is not good, What about if you have an older adult child at home sponging off you, not working? Why do I have to work? My parents are supporting me, right? I don't need a job. I can watch Netflix all day, binge on Netflix, play games on my computer. I'm a gamer. I love to play games. What happens when mom and daddy dies and they leave you with nothing? They have a big mortgage. What are you going to do then? See? So it's no good either way. It's dysfunctional for both the giver and the taker. Believe me. I've been there. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. So I hope you learned how to break free, and I hope if you have any questions that you feel free to ask, and don't be embarrassed by your questions. I welcome every question that you have, and I'd love to answer. If you are interested in any of these books that I have written, the links are down below in the description. They're all available on Amazon. If you would like to support my channel, you can do that by buying me a cup of coffee, and the link to that is down below in the description as well. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. That way you will be notified each and every time a new video of mine comes out. It's 100% free. What do you have to lose? Give it a thumbs up, share it, like it, share it on your social media platforms with your friends, your family. If you would like to write me privately, because you don't want the whole world to see what you have to say or ask in the comments, then you can do so. And my email is down below in the description as well. It's Leanne, LEEANN 827 @hotmail.com. And I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.